Hi, good morning everyone. Till now we have discussed about what are NPAs and types of NPAs and what are the reasons behind NPAs. Now we are going to deal with the most crucial point because learning about the definition of NPA is an important concept with respect to preliminary point of view and the types of NPA and the reasons behind NPA. All are the things which are related to preliminary point of view. Now, what are the concept present? I am going to discuss. This is a concept which is going to play a major role in both preliminary exam and mains exam, and more with respect to mains point of view. That is, what are the remedies we have for reducing non-performing assets? How we can reduce non-performing assets? So how many ways we can reduce or decrease the amount of non-performing assets, reducing non-performing assets. I'll start with the last one, that is with SARFA-IC Act. Later on, I will one after one. So, SARFA-IC Act has been come into existence from 2002 onwards. What is the objective of SARFA-IC Act? SARFA-IC Act is exclusively designed and implemented to decrease this NPA concept. As the name suggests, now just to focus on the acronym, the very first letter stands for securitization. Now this is and reconstruction of financial assets and enforcement of security interest. I'll focus on these three things. The very first one will be securitization. So it deals with securitization of the asset. That means securitization of the whatever the asset has been attached to the loan, securitization and reconstruction of financial assets. And the third thing will be enforcement of security interest. I'll explain all these things in common language. For example, a particular loan is there and on which the interest or principal has not been paid up to 90 days. Whenever the 90-day mark is crossed, it becomes an NPA. Then SARFA-IC Act comes into force under only one condition. If the principal or interest is not less than 20% of the total loan pending. For example, a loan of 1 lakh has been taken, out of which only less than 20% of the loan is not paid. Whatever the principal amount or interest amount is there, it is only 20% of the loan, less than 20% of the loan, then it is not going to interfere in that loan matter. So that is the very key thing. It is not going to take any case that is related to non-performing asset. It takes only those issues out of the total, whatever the total principal is pending or whatever the interest is pending. It should be less than 20%. It should be more than 20%. If it is less than 20%, the SARFA-IC Act is not going to involve with that case. So first notable point is more than 20% of pending amount should be required out of the total amount. So if the 1 lakh is the total amount, either the principal or the interest should be, the pending amount should be more than 20%. That should be, it should be more than 20,000 rupees. If it is less than 20,000 rupees, then it is not going to involve in that case. If it is more than 20% of the pending amount, 20% of the total amount, if the pending amount is 20% of the total pending amount, then only it is going to interfere. And the next beautiful thing about the SARFA-IC Act is, if a particular borrower is there and whose loan is defined as an NPA, then the SARFA-IC Act asks him and his borrowers to repay the loan or repay any pending payments are there to that particular borrower who has been defined as whose loan is defined as non-performing asset. I'll explain it in detail. For example, borrower A is there and some other person B is there. B has taken some amount from A and A's loan has been defined as NPA. Then the SARFAESI Act asks this person to repay the loan. At the same time, it requests this person also to repay whatever the amount you are supposed to pay to this person. That is the beauty of SARFAESI Act. It not only focuses on the person who is involved in NPA, it also asks other persons who are supposed to pay some amount to this person. Again, I am repeating, if this person A has taken some loan from the bank and his loan is defined as NPA and he is not paid anything for 90 days and his loan is defined under NPA, and the SARFAESI Act asks this person to repay the loan, at the same time asks person or requests person B to repay the loan which has taken from A so that he can repay his loan. So that is one more beauty in SARFAESI Act. But unfortunately, whatever the mechanism is there, that is not speedy mechanism. So the case solving procedure has taken has been taking huge and huge amount of time. That's why SARFAESI Act has become a failure. So you have one remedy, that is SARFAESI Act, but it has been a failure. And the next thing is debt recovery tribunals. DRT, Debt Recovery Tribunal. This concept has been introduced in 1993. Now, whatever the loan amount is there, that loan amount should be more than 10 lakhs. If it is more than 10 lakhs, that only debt recovery tribunals are going to interfere. And these debt recovery tribunals are going to function more faster than regular courts in solving these issues. And third thing will be, there is a possibility from Lok Adalats also. Lok Adalats were given permission by the Reserve Bank of India to solve issues related to non-performing assets from 2001 onwards, and they'll take any issue which is up to 5 lakhs. So they can solve any issue which is there up to 5 lakhs, Lok Adalats. When compared to regular courts, these debt recovery tribunals and Lok Adalats can do better. There is a possibility of doing better things in resolving the issues related to non-performing assets. And in present context, establishment of bad banks or one nationalized national bad bank is required. So either these bad banks or this national bad bank is supposed to purchase the NPAs from the commercial banks. I'll explain it in simple manner. For example, this is the State Bank of India, and this State Bank of India's non-performing assets can be purchased by these bad banks or this national bad bank. So there is a possibility that the Reserve Bank of India is thinking about establishment of a one single national level bad bank. So that may solve the problems, but again there is a problem in mechanism of national bank. I'll explain this in detail when bad bank concept comes. So these are the possible issues in Indian context. So in Indian context, you can use SARFAESI Act, you can use debt recovery tribunals, you can use Lok Adalats, and the establishment of bad banks also. The bad banks are going to purchase the non-performing assets of any bank, and these can focus on their regular functions. If the NPAs of these banks are purchased by bad banks, it can function, it can do its regular work. it cannot do its regular work when NPAs are increasing on it day by day, day by day. If the burden of NPAs is shifted from this bank to these bad banks, then they can work more efficiently. So, bad bank concept is a crucial point at present, but there are issues like from where these bad banks are going to collect money to purchase these bad loans from commercial banks. For example, if a bad bank is there, that bad bank is purchasing the bad loans or non-performing assets from a commercial bank. From where that money comes, there is a mechanistic problem. There is a problem in the mechanism of bad loan. We have great examples from China. We have great examples from USA. We have great examples from Sweden. Except Korea, all other bad bank mechanisms were big failures, and China is among the biggest failure in establishment of bad banks. We are supposed to learn something from China, from USA, from Sweden, and Korea before establishing a large scale bad bank, national bad bank in Indian context. So the mechanism problem is there, structural problem is there for a bad bank or a national bad bank. So at present we have these issues, and these are the issues which are related to Indian context. And the most important thing is foreign portfolio investors. If foreign portfolio investors can buy the bad loans or the NPAs of commercial banks, then the problem will be resolved. Then the burden will be shifted from the commercial banks to these FPAs. If this foreign portfolio investment is going to work, then it is a big shift in India's non-performing assets issue. Then there is a possibility of better functioning of public sector commercial banks. Once again, I'm repeating, we have number of remedies for reducing the NPAs. One is through SARFAESI Act, another one is through Debt Recovery Tribunal, and another one is Lok Adalats, and another one is bad banks and the establishment of a national bad bank and foreign portfolio investment. So all these things we have to reduce the NPAs. Thank you. I'll continue in my next session.